Y'all listen to Representative Carol Amos. She does great work in this area. And she was telling you about that program to help you with the bills. This is Conscious Community Connection, and we are live in the house with my girl Heather J. Kiki out right now doing this thing on some stuff, handling some business.
Oh,
and
wrong mic.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. Kiki's out right now handling some business on some things, doing a couple of things out there.
No, again, keep it real. He got a day off.
This is Conscious Community Connection, and we are in the house, man.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
How y'all doing out there? I hope everybody enjoying themselves. Champagne up there in Shambana. Heather and I in today. It's just us.
Just us.
Yeah. Get to hang out. I'm gonna pick on her. She might beat me up on live, but it's cool.
Sure will.
It's all right. It's all right. I still got love for my Heather.
He act like he can't answer the phone. You know, I ain't got time. I
wouldn't do that to Heather. You know I wouldn't do it. Now, other people I do that to, but not Heather. Wink. But not Heather, man. No, I wouldn't do that. But man, it's been a long day, man. We still
long day.
Yeah, long day. I had a funeral in Chicago, got back and running. I've been running ever since. Yeah. She was 90-some years old.
Oh, cool. Amen.
She did a good life. You know, we got to look at that different too. I think we need to look at that. We need to,
cause you know, it seems like you get them angel years once you get up there. You know, it's like you start to get those angel years in the 80s and 90s and 100s. Them angels.
Hey man, they did it, and she was into a church. She always was a blessing. Essie Blackwell, rest in peace.
Amen.
Blackwell family, man, and she was just a beautiful person. Never argued. Always was accepting. Never was judgmental. Like whatever that is when they said, you know, you're supposed to be this way or a certain way. I would say people in the church, I think she would have been your perfect example. Man. Just a beautiful lady. Always fed me when I was over there. I'd never seen her one time like raise her voice.
Okay. Well, she ain't need to.
Yep. She was just always a soft-spoken lady and just all the way wonderful. But we still doing recovery this week. We talking about recovery. Yes. So we want to get into other parts of recovery. So we're gonna stick with this topic. What for? How long?
This the last Saturday.
No, this the last Saturday.
This the last Saturday of October. So we are done with recovery after that, and going forward, I do believe. I know my event is on November the 2nd, and it's located at Douglas Branch Library, and it's gonna be from 11 to 12:30 at Douglas Branch Library.
Okay, tell us about that event.
My events have been going and dealing with self-love. So I have a self-love series that is every single first Saturday of this year, the remainder of the year, including January. We're gonna be going over self-love, self-care. We're gonna have activities. We're gonna go over mindfulness, and that'll be pretty much it. I can't let you know like what the activities are gonna be for that Saturday, but it's different every single time. I am an artist. I love art, so for sure there's gonna be something in there that deals with some type of art, some type of music, you know, whatever it may be. I want everybody to know that it is open to all genders. Okay, it's open up to teenage. Guys can go, women can go. It's open to teenagers all the way up to adulthood. I'm trying to include everybody. I don't want people to feel left out or uncomfortable, but we're in a setting where we're talking about self-love. We're not talking about no sexuality type of things. We're not talking about identity crisis or anything. We're not talking about those things. We're talking about self-love, just taking care of yourself and knowing how to do that, and also how you can possibly implement mindfulness into your day. So just come out. It's pretty much just
free?
It's a free.
You get snacks too?
It's free. With the snacks, I did it for the first one. I might be able to do snacks. The only thing with that is soon I will be asking for more donations. I'm going to be asking for, you know, people of the community to help me, that type of thing, because everything that I do is basically me putting my own money into it. Okay. So I buy the supplies. I don't ask for anything in return but people to actually show up. You know what I'm saying? And people will ask, why are you doing this for free? You can be doing this for $20. I believe that I can charge people for other things that I do have, you know, in the making. Just having this circle, this safe space for people, is going to be good. I know some people might say certain things. They might not feel comfortable sending their teenagers with some adults, but mostly my following are mostly women. And most of the women are over the age of 34.
They mature.
You know? Yeah. So I have a lot more women that come out than men. I have a few of my supporters, and I love you guys, and they show up, but I want people to understand that this is gender neutral. Period.
Okay. Hey, I got a question for you. I'm going to read this first.
Yes.
WRFU Urbana is an open forum. Urbana-Champaign community views are expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. This is 104.5 Conscious Community Connection, here with Heather J, who's talking about her
self-love series.
But are they retreats or what?
No, it's not a retreat or anything. It's just a day, a community day, you know, just to come out and talk. It's like a safe place, you know, circle, you know, group discussion, you know, that type of thing, you know.
So what's your purpose for these? What you trying to do?
My purpose is to get people to understand that we need love. And then the love that we need most of all is self-love. Okay, so self-love is a major key in this time, this age, this century. You know, we need more self-love than anything.
Wow. Yes. Man, that Heather's on point. Yeah. I'm going to ask her some more questions. I just got a couple of things I want to read off.
For sure.
Real quick. If you're trying to get connected, for anybody, get with Heather. But if you're looking for other services such as food, shelter, counseling, mental health, income and employment support, you could dial 211 and get connected. Any type of services in the community. And can we get you with that? We need to get you with United Way and let them know that you offer this. Because, you know, you know, this is self-help stuff. Resources for children and family, domestic abuse. If you're going through that, call 211. They could give you a lot of that. Veterans, reentry, human trafficking, drug, alcohol rehabilitation, disaster recovery. Just dial 211 and they will hook you up with whatever you're looking for. So that's a good thing to have. And I want to also kind of put in some word about what we're doing at First Followers. So First Followers Reentry, which is what we are part of.
Yes.
We help with employment. We help also connect you with a lot of these different services. If you need it, we work with individuals who have a background. So if you got a felony or formerly incarcerated people, don't worry about that, because we will stay in the fight with you until we find you somewhere that you can be employed. And there are employers out there, so don't be discouraged like, oh man, nobody's gonna hire me. And we'll help you put together a plan. We'll work with you, put together a goals plan, then we'll work on executing that plan. And once we get you set and start up on a short-term goal, we're gonna get you lined up something with a long-term goal as well. So I just want to say that. Yeah. And the Go Mad program is going real strong.
Yes.
We just had a meeting about that. Also, and we got the reentry house.
Yes.
Yeah, we finally got the reentry house. Yep. We got it approved, so it shall be open soon. We're taking applications for that. And the guys, you know, they don't have anywhere to go. They could come there. The only ones we really can't take at the reentry house is people with sex offenders, and we can't have nobody with meth charges for some reason. Everybody else, you know, yeah. And we got a program for these guys. Heather's part of that program. Heather comes in, and she teaches the Go Mad guys.
Self-development.
Self-development, life skills, critical thinking. You'll really love this young lady, man, everything that she's doing. But again, like I said, you could give us a call at, you could call my 815 number, or look up, actually go online and look up First Followers, Reentry, and you could connect through there. It'd be easier. Send us an email. Someone will get in touch with you, and then we'll take care of that.
Yes.
And I think that's all I want to say. I did want to mention something about the free health clinics, but I lost my paper.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start making them announcements so we can have that at the first of the hour. Then we want to go into a discussion, because there's a lot of people out there looking for help. And now this is the last show of recovery for this month.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, this is the last Saturday. Because next week, Thursday is the 31st. That's Halloween.
Man, this year is flying by. I can't keep up.
Yes. So, yeah, with everything that he was, that Tiger was saying about First Followers, about, you know, the things that are changing in our community, there are great things, and there are great people that are really showing out. Yeah. And I like it. I'm loving it. I know our state representative, she's doing great and amazing things, and it's just showing us and telling us that we need to start working on ourselves in order to become better leaders. Okay?
Right.
One of the students were saying we were all born leaders. Okay?
I like that.
That's what it was. We are all born leaders. All right? It's what you do with that. You know?
Right.
Do you accept it and keep working on that leader, or do you suppress it?
Well,
and let it, or be content with it, and you just are like, hey, okay.
It got to be developed.
You know, it has to be developed.
But you know, a lot of people still believe in that. The guy, the scientist,
because it's almost like we say, everybody has 24 hours.
Yeah, they got 24 hours.
Everybody has 24 hours is what you do with it.
Right.
So everybody was born a leader is what you do with it. You know?
Right. You're right.
So, I mean, you work with that leader inside of you, and you start developing that particular leader. Well, there's plenty of categories for leaders, but, you know, we need to work on that, okay?
Well, and, you know, I think a lot of people fall into this myth of they look for an alpha male.
Okay.
That's a myth.
Okay.
The guy who he was out there studying some wolves, the professor, I'm looking at his name right now, but he was the one who let me see, man, hold on, I'm trying to find his name, but he was the one who wrote a book about this, and when he brought the book out, Saladin
Ahmed?
Yeah. The concept of alpha male wolves that asserted dominance over their pack. So really what he was watching was, when he went back and observed this again, what he found out he was watching was a male wolf and his female companion. But the male wolf would lead at certain times, but then when he observed again, the female would lead sometimes. So, but some of us look for this one leader to come up. But everybody can't be a leader on everything. You got an expertise on what you're doing,
right? Which
means you got to lead.
Yes.
And then I got to fall back. That don't mean that, you know, that you expect this dude or this person to lead every single thing. He can't do that.
Right.
He don't know everything. So you got to know when to fall back. You know, fall back. Just like the goose or the geese, when they fall, the leader would take up, and you know, they honk. That's why they honk. They hunk to cheer him on.
Okay.
And then when he get tired because he's cutting the wind, but he creates this this wake, and behind him that helps the other ones to be more energy efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what he do when he get tired of cutting it, he fall back, and then another one come forward.
For sure.
Now these are geese that know how to do this. So what you saying is real. Everybody's a leader. It's not that, you know, they're not looking at no particular geese or goose to say, well, you the leader and you just gonna lead. He can't do that. The flight is too long. Somebody else has to step up.
For sure.
And that's how they work. Oh, you know, the cool thing, if one of them drop out, like he's sick or something, two of them will go down with him and stay with him.
Okay.
Now, why we don't do nothing like that?
We ain't gonna get into all of that.
Okay, all right.
Okay?
Yeah, but
they honor.
But these are whatchamacallit, these are geese. These are everybody call them dumb animals, but they outdoing us, man.
Not at all.
Yeah.
They change and adapt and honor the universe. And what are we doing?
That's deep. So back to what you're doing again. Now you developing each leader. Now this working with recovery in a sense, because now you are helping to rebuild the youth.
Yes, for
in our area by teaching them how to be leaders, right?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I mean, to become a leader, first things first is you must be aware of yourself. So knowing yourself and knowing who you are, and which with recovery, the same thing. You need to be aware of yourself, and you need to know who you are. You need to know your weaknesses, and you need to know your strengths. So recovery, and then with the leadership, we can talk about them and tie them all together. But you got to know who you are. You need to be aware of yourself. So if you love art, and that is your weakness, and you just doodle every single day and don't even do your homework, you know what you can possibly do in order to do your homework. Make it into an art project. You know,
you said
and
something
work
critical, man. Know yourself.
You know,
man, a lot of people go their whole life and don't know themselves.
That's going to be majority of the population,
right?
Yes.
So that,
but we're trying to start to move that and push that. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on healing. You need to work on reading more, thinking differently. You need to start experiencing life a different way, you know? Yeah,
because a lot of them go, because I think, what's that guy? The one who did the change, Bruce Jenner, turned it to Kylie, what's her name? He turned it to that other.
Something Jenner. Yeah. Yeah, he must. Mrs. Jenner.
Yeah, he either knew himself but was just hiding himself. But then why he wait till he get all the way to this age, then decide he want to turn into a woman?
Okay, that's.
Did he know himself, or was he still figuring out himself? You know, only now this is a hypothetical question. But to me, it seemed like he didn't know himself all them years. Then he finally figured out, I guess this is who I am.
Well, I can say a little bit is we know who we are. We just we forget. There we go. We forget who we are. This is real deep. I'm about to blow your mind. Right. So we came here. We came here and we forgot who we were.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Okay, so we forgot who we were. We needed to take some time out to remember who we were. Remember what we were supposed to do.
We came here for a reason.
Yes. So we came here for a reason.
We forgot that.
We forgot that
during that birth stage, but now you here.
Now you here.
That's a different way of thinking.
Yes. Now you here, and you have to find some things out. So it's almost like we gonna play a game, but you won the game already. Okay. So why do we have the game? And then why do we have rules? Then you start putting it out there. So why are there colors on the board? What does this stuff mean? You get what I'm saying? Okay. So we had to forget who we were in order to really, really, truly walk down the path of life and complete our mission or our purpose.
That's deep, man. Yeah, you blew my mind.
So, hush.
Boom.
So, I just said that because it sounded good. But we had to forget some things in the process. And you can't give the person your secret or every single thing when they first, walk on this earth, because they wouldn't appreciate the stuff.
It got to be developed, because I was even reading. Now, I know a lot of Christians get on me on this one, but
it's all right.
You can really see, even in the Bible text, and I hear a lot of guys that read, you can hear where when Jesus was developing as he was going, he was still developing. So it's a developing process that you really coming into who you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Like the word Pharaoh, everybody got that word misconstrued, or that word really means what you are to become.
Okay. A Pharaoh. To become?
What you are to become.
What you are to become.
Right.
All right. All right.
Yeah, that's where you got to read a lot of Sheikh Diop and all that stuff. It really meant, the term was like what you are to develop to and what you are to become, your higher self. Life. But
what is the path of life? And two very powerful people. Thank you, Terry. What is the path of life?
Well, that's everybody got their own.
Everybody has their own path. Everybody has their own calling, purpose, everybody does.
Yeah. Your path, I don't think no path is no bigger or no smaller. Some people's path is to go ahead and be president, but I think that's to have somebody path to say, I'm going to clean up the school is just as important as that president. Because if don't nobody pick up if don't nobody pick up the trash or take care of the maintenance, the rest of the system can't flow. So no one is bigger than the other one. We need everybody on every level. I like I even like the business model that a lot of the Asians use or the Japanese use. Like everybody owns stock in their company. Janitors, everybody. So that means we all in this.
We're all in this.
Yeah. So that's
yes.
It's deep, man. I like that.
It's just, we forgot who we are or wish.
We gotta
people tripping today.
I don't know what's going on. Stop calling me. I am on the radio.
Yeah, they call it for
that. We're gonna figure that stuff out soon. We gotta get an actual camera. Oh my, hush.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so we forgot who we were, or we forgot our mission, our purpose, and we have to find out. We have to seek.
Okay.
We have to find it out. We have to search for it. We have to find out where the tool is or what our tool will be. So as a speaker, I have to find out where and who I need to, go or touch or talk about what topics, but before I do all of that, I need to do my research. I need to read. I need to figure out how to speak, what tone to use, what words to use, what words not to use. So it's just searching and seeking for it, and you will find the truth.
I believe this, man. Now this is my belief. I believe whatever you've been touched by is what you're here to fix. I don't think there was no accident that whatever tragedy you face, I think that's what you was here to kind of deal with, in a sense, because that's where your passion gonna go. You gotta go where your passion go. Your passion gonna take you into that zone. That's where you bring the most feelings and energy at. Then the brain kind of works with that. But that's my belief. Now that's what I believe. I believe you was touched on.
Okay.
Like it was things I seen and I was touched on that I touched and I seen, just like the inside of a prison, and then down there on the end, seeing these things actually now kind of brought me into trying to make a change on these things, and
Wow.
But it brought it into action, because I see a lot of people who pretend. I say they pretend to get out there, but the real ones are not talking about. Like I see cats. They'll write up all this stuff. They'll write up, we should do this. They'll write it, but they don't put no action to it. you know, they all talk, man. Get out there. If you're going to really do this, do it. You ain't got to wait. You want to make a change, go out there and do it.
I feel like
you doing it. You know, you out there hitting. You out there battling.
I have to because, I mean, I have to say it like this. A lot of people ask me, you know, when you going back to church.
Church is on the outside.
When are you gonna do woo woo woo? Yeah. And I'm just telling them like I am doing it. Jesus was outside. He was working.
Yeah,
and then I'm sorry to say, but hey, it's in the Bible. He went in that church. He flipped the tables over. He wasn't satisfied, you know. So I'm doing that work. I feel like I'm doing the work that I'm supposed to, and I'm on the right path. And the church is inside of me, and I'm taking care of that. I'm feeling that. I am. And my cup is running over, you know, to where now it's abundant and I can spread it and spill it where I need to.
Right.
And it's about to get, you know, it's going to get full again. So it's running over some more. So I want people to know and understand that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm walking down that path, and I know for sure this is my purpose.
But
I'm supposed to be speaking.
Love is an action word.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody say I love you, they're not saying one thing and then doing it, that's something else. So you know, you got to be careful what everybody say, because I'm going to give you a good example. Let's take Hitler.
Okay.
Hitler talked a lot of, you know, a lot of people don't know, but he was, you know, he at the beginning, he was almost, he was talking a lot about God this and God that, and he's this redeemer. Okay. You know, they saw him as a redeemer for a while.
Okay.
But look at this dude, and then you gotta wonder, and it make you gotta listen to this, because you will hear some people that say they'll do a lot of that. They'll do a lot of church talk or God talk, but then they be, you're like, man, what God are you serving? So, you know, you gotta be careful. You gotta ask them, well, what do you mean by that? What are you talking about that? What do you mean by that? Because I've ran into them people, and they talk that talk, but they walk in a different walk, and they are confused. Because, like I said, the Nazis used to wear that, and God we trust over there on they thing. You know, they didn't just go out there and just. They had the spinning cross. These were some very, you could say, almost religious people, almost gone nuts.
And I mean,
that's the difference.
Okay.
Religious, being religious, spiritual. Okay. And the other thing.
Yes.
Because here goes some people that was looking for the spirit destiny, but they was killing. You got to really watch this thing when somebody says what does that mean, man? Because and then look at Jim Jones. Jim Jones, you know Jim Jones, right?
Nuh-uh. I heard the name.
Well, he was like this pastor, preacher, but then he took a bunch of people there, and he poisoned the Kool-Aid. See, everybody, you could talk that talk, but what are you really doing? And they could bend that. Then the other dude,
they crossed the line.
David Koresh was down there, straight whack job. He was even talking about he was Jesus and reincarnated. See, you gotta watch that.
Yeah, you crossed the line. There's a line.
Yeah, you gotta really watch it.
And it's fine, real fine line.
So.
Yes.
I say with this recovery thing, going back on that, I pulled up some. Yeah. And I was looking at the stages. I think, you know, we covered recovery, talking about personal. We covered community. What else?
I don't know. Did we talk about, I think we talked about relationship. I don't know if we did, but we can maybe just touch on it a little bit, like relationship or heartbreak type of thing. You know, we could talk about that just a little bit. It don't even have to be much. Well, but yeah, go ahead. Because I think what you're saying is pretty good, because I've done my undergrad studies and we had to do a lot of health behavior modifications and reading the models and health behavior models, social cognitive theory, like all these things, social I'm sorry, I'm blanking right now because I got a paper about this.
She's doing a paper, but
social something. I forgot the name of it, but all of these tie in to health itself, and that's my field. I've been touched by the health part, you know, so that's my field, and behavior modification. That is gonna be, you know, up there. in my expertise.
So, before I read this, let me read this disclaimer. WRFU is an open forum, Urbana-Champaign community. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Urbana Socialist Forum. Again, this is 104.5 WRFU FM, Conscious Community Connection. You in with your God, Tiger G, or Tiger the Motivator. Let me get it right. I'm sorry.
Tiger G.
And that's transform your goals in reality. It's not just a name. So
all right. Yes.
And I'm here with my favorite person here, Heather J, who I don't never hide from, but she want to beat me like I hear from her.
You gonna get pushed over, man.
Yeah, y'all see her push me over, man. Just help me back in the chair, because she might push me back.
I'm gonna say, dang, I don't know, he just passed out.
Right. It's okay. It's all a love tip. I'm cool with it. I'm good. Be like that lady on that commercial. I followed and I can't get it. Nah. But that's cool, man. It's all good. But we still doing recovery, so
yes.
It's stages in recovery. The stages in recovery, and I got this from off the national, the national site for, NICH, yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Yep.
So the stages are, let me see, pre-contemplation,
yes,
contemplation,
yes,
appropriation, action, maintenance, and relapse optional.
That is one of the models that I have to study. Yes.
Oh yeah. So let's see. Let's go to this first stage.
It might be the behavior model. That's probably what it is.
So pre-contemplation is, as an addiction worsens in severity, so do its consequences and their frequency. So that's pre-contemplation. During the pre-contemplation stage, the addict has become aware of the consequences of addiction. That could be any type of addiction. That could be shopping addiction. That could be drugs. That could be somebody who hooked on promiscuity, or having sex out there. Just anybody. That could be any type of addiction.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's just the early stages,
So the addict is becoming aware of pre-contemplation. They saying something's wrong.
So basically, it's pre-contemplation is they're thinking about it.
They know something wrong now. They realize that it's something wrong in their life. This might be the issue.
No. This is the beginning
of getting a recovery.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So they're thinking about it. So it's pre-contemplation. Like, I don't know, maybe. Let me jump in, jump out.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
And they say that too, because they said
back
an individual
and forth.
in the pre-contemplation stage of recovery still prefers to remain in active addiction rather than to seek any rehabilitation services.
So they're thinking about it. Like, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and stop drinking, but I'm about to take another sip.
Don't drink that water, man. You got to drink it properly. No, but go ahead.
But that's what it is. It's just back and forth, back and forth. Like, I'm thinking about it while I'm drinking.
So this could be anything. We talking about, this could be, this could be somebody hooked on a bad relationship. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They thinking about leaving, but they like, this relationship, we really ain't growing.
But the stuff too good. I like going back,
Is it too good, or is it just that they familiar with it? Because I done heard, what's that saying? People would prefer a familiar hell over a strange heaven.
Very true.
Right, because they familiar, they know this, and they like...
They start to think about those pros and cons. You feel me? Like, if I stop drinking, I might have a seizure. You get what I'm saying? Because I tried to last time, I had a seizure. Or if I stop drinking, then I'm going to start shaking. You get what I'm saying? Like, they start to think about certain things. Or if we don't always have to stay or stick on drugs. If I stop, talking to my friend, if I stop talking to my friend, but I just have to have somebody around.
You talking about your stomach?
Just shut up.
Okay. All Okay.
Why I gotta be me?
I ain't saying
I'm
that.
just
I'm
saying
just
it.
listening. Okay, I get it.
So if I stop talking, you know, I'm gonna be alone. I'm gonna feel alone. But
Okay.
I'm tired of, you know, fronting and acting like I really like this person. You know,
they know something is wrong. They just don't know how to go about fixing it. So that's
or
that
they
stage.
don't want to yet. You know,
okay.
I'm comfortable with it. I'm fine with it. You know, I'm not that mad or angry because it's with certain things. You have to get mad and angry in order to like really make a change. You got to be tired to really like make a change.
Okay, I believe that. I know a lot of people like that, man. They stuck, and
but they comfortable.
Yeah, they get comfortable with it, and I hear that a lot.
Yep.
With a lot of cats, they be talking about they don't want better. If they did, they'd do it. Nah, sometimes you need a bigger why, or a bigger reason to do that.
Yep.
To make that change. And once you, and I see a lot of people. I know individuals who were like stone cold alcoholics and stuff, and then a certain member of the family died, and they just make that change because now they got a big enough why.
Yes.
To fight that thing. And you know the biggest misconception I ever heard? Like I heard one guy say something about, he said, you know what it is, they ain't got no willpower. That's a lie. Because I'm going to tell you now, a drug addict will go out there and do anything to make that drug. So he got strong willpower.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It's just that his willpower is redirected in the wrong way.
And that's when we talk about like the energy or transferring of energy.
Right.
So
his energy is just his will
his
is
energy
just
is
redirected.
being transferred to something else that ain't good.
Because I done ran with some dope heads, man. You'll be surprised what they
they'll do some stuff.
Man, they can do some mirror. And I looked at these guys. I said, man, you know what? If they just took 20 minutes of that instead of burning up all that money in drugs, if they took 20% of that, what they was doing, they'd be rich. But the drugs had them so out there that the drugs had them so far out there that they was doing some things that you would be like, man.
Or even with a relationship. You know, even with a relationship, you know, just being with the abusive person or narcissist. Yeah. You know, or somebody that does a fire starter, whistleblower, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
No, it ain't a whistleblower. I just threw it in there.
What's that?
Fire something.
Gaslighter.
Yeah. I will never forget that.
Man,
so, the gaslighter. So, I mean, you have that. I'm sitting here. I'm comfortable. I'm okay with this person cussing me out every day. I'm okay. You know, you go up and down. You do the pros and the cons. Then you scared. And you scared.
You scared to make that change. So that's this next stage. This next stage is contemplation. So the transition from pre-contemplation to contemplation is marked by the consensus that the consequences of addiction are more severe than he or she had previously believed. So now they're becoming aware. So
they're becoming aware.
It's an awareness stage. They're becoming aware of this now.
For sure. Like, and it's almost like, oh man, action time a little bit. You know? It's like let's push that into action mode. You know? It's like these negative effects are taking over.
That's what they just said right here. They said the addict is becoming actively aware of the negative effects, your exact words, that the addiction is having on their life. So now now the brain is sort of tuning in. And you know, the brain, they still studying the mind. And the mind and the brain are two different things.
Yes, it is.
Because you can lose your mind but still have a brain.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Like somebody said, man, he lost his mind, but his brain is still there. Yeah. But he's just not in this world. He's seeing something else. So a lot of things we do run subconsciously. Right. They run in the background. Just like I can't even tell you how I got to work last week because I was on autopilot. I probably was driving, eating with one hand and drinking, doing something else. But I can't tell you because I'm on autopilot. Yep. So, okay, that's deep.
Yeah. Yes.
That's deep. I like that. How can your program help with this? Can your program help them get to this stage, the second one? You think your mindfulness can work for this?
For sure.
And how would that work?
So the awareness part in mindfulness is basically you need to practice something. You know, you need to practice listening to some music. You need to either practice breathing on a daily or something. You need to practice at least focusing on one particular thing on your body, like your hands or something, you know. So practicing mindfulness brings awareness to something. All right. And mindfulness and meditation is two different things, but being mindful is just being aware. So if you're aware of your breath or the breaths that you take in an hour or something like that, you're being aware of just one thing. So you start to be more aware of other things as well.
So you get what I'm saying? What's happening going on in the subconscious into the conscious.
Yes. The
that's
present.
Deep, man.
The present moment.
Oh, that's deep. I gotta practice this stuff.
Yes. So we're bringing the awareness to the present moment. So right now at this time, I'm full. I'm sitting here. You know, it's after 6:30. You know, it's on this Saturday. You know, so I just brought whatever I had in and I brought it out and up and out, you know, into the universe. You get what I'm saying? So you need to be aware of what's going on inside of you, what's going on the outside of you, and what's going on around you. You know, so being aware will bring you to that contemplation, you know, and in which the pre-contemplation, you trying to be aware, you just not accepting it. So you have to be aware and accept it.
You going right into the next one. Preparation. Man, you know this stuff.
I
already know who you are. I already know you're a bookworm nerd. But you went right into it. So the next stage was preparation.
Yes.
So in transitioning from contemplation to preparation, the addict realizes the repercussions of addiction far outweigh any perceived benefits.
Yeah.
Moreover, he or she decides the behavioral changes necessary to get sober are attainable and accept that there's a need for treatment. So now they're in the acceptance stage. That's what you're talking about. They're getting to the next stage.
Yes.
So this even worse for somebody who's shopping addicted.
Or even like somebody that loves to steal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they a junkie. They
like
junkie.
to steal. Yeah, they like to steal. So they go to the store and they just instantly just grab it and already put it in their pocket and didn't even, it's like autopilot. They just steal or have done it so much that they didn't even know that they did it until they pulled it out and like, oh man.
I don't judge nobody because...
And they got the money. You get what I'm saying? And they didn't go in there intending on stealing a chapstick. Right. You know, something just so easy. They got the money.
That charge, man. Yeah. You know, the brain is, 5 basic brain waves. You know, gamma, alpha, beta.
Is it theta in there too?
Theta. Yeah, that's a low. That's a wave. That's a pleasure wave. Like when you in your
I should know that. Huh?
She would know that one. Yeah, that's a pleasure wave. But that now all 5 are present, but it depends in a combination how they work.
Right.
So that thrill. That high, it's a high gamma is thrill. It moves where the brain's moving really fast, and it releases the same chemicals. So all these things do the same thing. You know, one person looked down on this one talking about, well, he doing crack and doing all this, but your addiction is no different from his. When it comes down to the brain chemicals, the same set of chemicals are released.
Yes,
and they are having the same enjoyable moment.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
Right. This is why they say you don't judge and don't get in there and talk about, well, I only drink, he do this, but y'all both chasing that same that same chemical release. They're trying to get it, right?
Yes.
When it comes down to everything.
Yes, that's the science to it. And then even with that, you have to also think about it. And we're talking about that's that mental. So there's 2 types of, there's that addiction As we talked about being addicted to a drug, you have that mental addiction, that psychological addiction, that chemical stuff that is released. Then you have that physical. You know what I'm saying? So when you're smoking a cigarette, you got that physical, you got that, okay, I'm about to put it to my mouth. That's why some people say or have that, well, I'm just puffing on, you know, a fake cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're not actually smoking, but they're basically doing the action because it's also a physical addiction to it.
Man, I was addicted to cigarettes. What I'm saying? I used to be a pack a day.
Yeah.
It took me about 5 years to stop waking up looking for that. I used to do like this, look for one. It took me almost 5 years to stop that.
Yeah. So physical and mental, it's
nicotine is a drug, together. Man.
It's
Make you do stuff.
Yep.
That's deep. So the next stage is action.
Yep.
After progressing from pre-contemplation through contemplation and preparation, the individual reaches the action stage of recovery. During the action stage, the addict immerses him or herself into recovery, which can include enrolling in a treatment program, joining a 12-step group, or utilizing some other type of resources for rehabilitation. So now we have the action stage.
I don't like this article a little bit because it keeps calling people addicts.
I don't like it either. Yeah. But wouldn't it? The mindfulness is an action here, right?
Yeah, it's action. But at the same time,
or is it bringing it into action?
It's both. It's both. Yeah, it's both. It's both. So we went to we're in action, so that means you're acting out your actual plan that you basically probably start to think about when you were in that pre-contemplation stage.
Right.
How am I gonna stop drinking? No, I ain't gonna stop drinking. I gotta go ahead and drink again. Well, what if I do this?
Right.
You know, no, I ain't going. You know, so that pre-contemplation and contemplation stage, I mean, they kind of mesh together, but it's like back and forth, double dutch. You know, you're back and forth. You're trying to figure out, well, how am I gonna do this? Nah, that ain't gonna work. Well, what if I do this? You know, you have that what if.
So let me bring it back to that question. What's a life path? How you find your life path? That question that she asked.
How do you find your life path?
What was the question?
Yeah.
The question was life. What did it have to say?
No, what is the path of life?
So the path of life then, for whatever that person is on, that addiction, let's say somebody with a drug addiction, then their life path is either one, they're going to conquer that addiction, or that addiction is going to conquer them.
Yes. There's no other in between. Now,
here's what's funny. In state, at death, let's say this person don't conquer it, right? In state, when a person lying in state, you can always find something positive to say about them. It's a funny thing. Just like if this person died of alcoholism, so he had kidney failure, you could use his life as an example. Say, Mr. Doe, he laying there today to show us this is what alcohol will do. Even in state, he's perfect. Ain't that weird? So it's really like, you know, one way or the other, he's either he did a self-sacrifice for you in a sense, man.
I get what
weird,
you're saying.
Right? Yeah. Even in state, you could find something. And this person probably lived their life, and they probably, and you know, everybody was like, nah, he ain't nothing. But in state, at death, you could look at him and say, well, he's really showing you what you shouldn't do.
Very true. Very true.
So some could still positive come out of that and tell you, well, this is what happened if you just go down that road and you do that. That's your life path. So what you got to decide now, with you figuring out your life path, how do you want to come out of this, whatever you either trying to overcome,
yes,
or whatever you're battling. You got to figure that out. The person has to figure that out.
Yeah.
Right?
Only you can do it. Even like with back to recovery. So we can talk about me. So me, I used to drink a lot. So even with me drinking a lot, my dad couldn't push me towards recovery. My auntie couldn't. My sisters couldn't. You know, my kids wouldn't even, be able to do it. There's plenty of days where they see me like that and they were like, well, Mom, no, not record, play. You can press stop and then play.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yep. But, so basically it'll be, or just press play.
Okay, go ahead.
So nobody could actually do that. I know you did. I see it.
Okay.
So I had to do it myself. I had to push myself in order to recover, in order to get that action. Oh.
Okay. All right, okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Even with the path of life, no one can push me towards my purpose. No one can make me, figure out my purpose. I have to go down that path. So I have to recover that path. I need to really sacrifice for my own path, whatever it may be. I keep saying I. No one else can do it.
That's deep. Okay. Yeah. So you sign your own value.
Yes.
That's the God in you right there.
Yes.
You sign your own value what you want. I like that.
Yes.
Heather getting deep in here today,
action.
Man. Heather,
what was it? Maintenance.
Yeah, maintenance was the
maintenance. So with the maintenance, it's just even with the mindfulness practice, it's on a daily basis. So when you talk to people that have recovered or in remission, from certain things, they will tell you every day is a struggle. Every day is day by day. Hey, I'm conquering the fact that I'm not drinking. I am not smoking a cigarette. It's a daily, hourly basis that you have to overcome that person or that mindset that tells you smoke a cigarette. Go ahead, take a puff. Go ahead and get a swig. Go ahead and take that that little chapstick. You have to, have that maintenance going. So you start doing other things like being active. I stay active for a reason. I'm active for a reason. I do mindfulness. I have other things. I can do some exercising. I do a lot of arts and crafts. I read. I have a lot of things that take my mind off of smoking.
Okay, here's a question. Are you doing that to stay sober? Or are you doing it because you want to, because it makes you happy? Like, are you, because the only reason I'm asking it, both?
Both.
Okay. And the only reason I asked that question because, let's say that somebody chose to do that as their path, then are they doing this just to cover up something, or would you say, you gotta be real with yourself. You gotta be authentic. Are you doing this because you enjoy it, or are you doing it because you're trying to run away? Do you consider that as running away, or do you consider that as, running away? Because you can only run for so long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when does this become second nature, where you actually are internalizing this? Does that ever happen or no?
So when you're doing the maintenance part, it turns into a habit. And once it starts to turn into a habit, it's almost like second, like that autopilot.
So you're replacing one with the other.
Yep.
Okay, man. Yep. Okay.
That's how you do with the energy. You transfer that energy.
And you enjoy transferring energy because it's harder to it's hard to not enjoy it. It's almost like, you know, eat your greens. They be telling you, but you be like, man, I don't want to eat this stuff. But you enjoy eating it, just like you a vegetarian. I know it's probably hard. A vegan. I know it's hard in the beginning, but now it's like you look forward to this now.
Now I look forward to telling people, no, I'm not eating your meat. I get a little pleasure in it. No, I'm not eating it. I'm sorry.
You don't even want the meat. You be like,
no, I don't. And then even if it's like some green beans and I eat it, I'm like, oh, your green beans not even good. You know?
The green?
Green beans. Some people don't even know how to cook. We ain't even gonna talk about that. That's another little episode on wellness. But some people don't even know.
Bad green beans. I ain't never had no bad green beans.
Nah, somebody wouldn't. Yeah.
Be like, man, how can you mess up green beans?
How?
That's like messing up a boiled egg, man. How you mess up a boiled? And I seen people mess up a boiled egg.
Yeah,
like
they did. They messed it up, and I ain't gonna say nothing, but
okay,
it's okay.
That's what's.
It's okay. Yes.
That's what's up, man. Okay.
Yes.
Man, you put some light on this thing. So
recovery
is big.
It's some stages. It was 5 stages on there. I don't forget. Was the maintenance the last one?
Maintenance was the last one, really. Maintenance.
And then termination. Oh, okay.
Let's see. The termination stage is the transformation of recovery is basically complete. Although remaining sober is a lifelong endeavor, like you said, an individual in the termination stage of recovery is likely to have regained his or her health, maintenance, healthy relationships, has a stable job or career, is financially independent, and feels confident that he or she will remain in the state. Yeah,
I don't know about all that other extra stuff. That was too much. They ain't even have to say all of that now. Dang. Yeah. But maintenance. I believe the maintenance part would be pretty much like the last thing, and it'll kind of go over. It's like a circle.
Well, that's what they said. The beauty of the 6th stage of change and recovery is that, as mentioned previously, they reduce an otherwise complicated process into a series of clear, conscious steps. That's what you just said. But what makes them important, how are the 6 steps beneficial? So now those steps that you was doing, they get meaning, and they re-energize you. So it makes sense. I get it. It falls right in line with just what you said, and that's cool, man. So everybody dealing with some type of recovery.
Yes, even Jace, like me on my little healing path, I'm recovering from a lot of abusive relationships. You know, so I'm not trying to jump into any of them at all. Like no relationship at all.
But is that avoidance, or would that be?
No, it's not avoidance. It's just
you don't feel like nobody is.
It's not avoidance. It's me setting standards. Yeah, I'm setting some standards, some principles. Okay. You know, I'm setting some things straight with myself and for my future. You know. Because I was literally, you know, accepting certain things that I shouldn't have. And once I did try to change my standard, someone lashed out, or someone would be mad that I changed my standards, or I was changing, period. You know, and it's okay to change. It's okay to change your mind, you know. Right. And hey, if that person doesn't like it, you know, it's time to move around. So I want to touch on like relationships for the last little few minutes. Just recovering over relationships alone. We need to take time out for ourselves. We need to make sure that we nurture ourselves. If you're searching or seeking for that love, you need to actually basically look in the mirror and ask yourself, why are you expecting this person to do something that you can possibly do for yourself and actually feel much better about it?
Yeah.
You know, so I expect Tiger to give me roses every single time he sees me. I expect him to do that. and then one day he doesn't, I don't voice it. I don't say anything, but I'm heartbroken. I expected you to do something for me.
Right.
Once you did something that I didn't even think you would ever do, I was heartbroken. You know? I put that expectation on you and put a high expectation on you. Now it's like, oh my gosh, the world is going to end or it's over.
Right.
When actually it's not. I shouldn't expect you to do anything. I should expect myself to do that personally for myself, so I won't be heartbroken.
Right.
So I won't be so struck by hurt, you know, that now I feel down, you know?
Okay.
So when it comes to recovery, you need to start looking at yourself, expecting certain things from yourself and not other people. Because if you start to expect things from other people, you almost give them the power over you, or you give them the power to control you, or you give that the power, you know, to control you, and that's not a good outlook for you.
So you reclaiming yourself.
Yes,
that's what I'm hearing.
I am. Yep. Right now, I am.
Man, okay.
Yep. I'm recovering.
I wish you well on this journey, man. I think you're gonna be all right.
Thank you. Most definitely.
You're gonna be okay. You just how you keep going. But at least you know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, a lot of people don't know it.
Yeah.
They got to figure it out. But you brought it to awareness. You brought it into where you was able to look at this thing and say, "This is what's wrong. I don't like this."
Yeah.
Is this bad in our community? Really bad? What you say? Is this something commonplace?
Yep.
It is. Bad relationships or?
Yes, it's very common.
Non-productive ones?
Yep. Very, very, very common. Very common. I listen to a lot of different men on YouTube that actually talk about relationships. And a lot of men go from relationship to relationship without healing, in which is not good at all.
Right.
You know, they don't take the time out to heal. A lot of men don't. They just go from bed to bed to bed. And then
they do bad.
And then they do bad. And then they finally try to find that one girl, but they got a lot of stuff to heal from.
I think you got a question.
You know?
Look like a question.
So, I mean, we talk.
Right.
Yes, cousin, yes.
That's my cousin. Hey, cousin.
You know,
Alberta.
Okay, I see guys who get threatened by girls, and then they get threatened by their lady. Or feel like she's trying to outdo them, and then they would try to put her back in that box by either one, you know, downing her sometimes.
Yes. Oh, somebody tried to do that the other day. God.
Yeah, they got to put you back in that box to control you. But you getting out of there, and they're like, no, they need to define you.
Right.
And I see other guys who take offense on that. They might be, you know, we was having this discussion where one young lady, you know, she was talking about what she got. And she was letting the other gentleman know, hey, look, I got this, I got that. But he want to put her down and say, well, even if she got, let's say I got my own house, I got my own car. Then his response is, well, that's house, and that car is 20 years old. That's a beat up car. But he didn't get what she was saying. She was really saying, look, I'm already got this and got that. What can you match me with?
Right.
You know, yeah, it might be housing, but I got it.
Right. And it's in my name.
Right. It's in my name. I'm paying the bills. I'm doing this. But he got offended, and he was trying to put her back in that box like, oh, that's a project house. You staying in the projects.
Right.
But that don't matter.
No.
What she's telling you is, I'm handling this right now. What am I going to get? What's the benefit of me getting with you besides sex?
Right.
You know, besides just a good feeling for about 5-10 minutes.
Yes.
And I got to listen to you, you know, go up and down your woes what else you gonna bring to this table?
For sure.
And a lot of guys don't get that. Then they go into drinking. When they can't put that girl back in that box, then they start drinking and go into a thing of trying that they can't control themselves. Because now this is about control and power.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because they're going to that. Then then they get mad. They get mad at you if you don't support you. The guys, they get mad at you like, oh man, I don't want to hear that. They get mad at you. You're like, hey man, I don't think that's right what you're doing, brother.
One person like try to do that to me recently, and it was pretty.
Try to put you back in that box.
Put me back in the box, and
you too big to get stuffed in the box now, man.
Man, they try to put me back in the box. They try to remind me of some stuff, and
used to do this.
After that, it was like, well, you acting this way because I'm acting this way.
Ever since you got around Tiger, you've been acting funny. You know that.
I
blame me, man. Y'all can blame me.
It don't matter to me. You can put me in a box if you want to in your own world, not in my world. In your own world, not my world. No, I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I think I am the shouldn't. Okay. And that wasn't the word. So yeah.
I like your confidence now, man. I like when you go.
You have to, the women and the men, because I'm not gonna, put any gender to this. We have a lot of hurt people, but unhealed people hurt people. So we have a lot of people that haven't healed yet. They have all this baggage. They have all this pain. They have all these things that happened to them in the past, and they're trying to love on someone in which they don't even have their own self-love, let alone they're expecting people to do certain things for them that they won't even do for themselves.
Well,
so you can't do that.
A lot of guys, we hide the tears, man. We not, our society is really about, we're not supposed to show pain.
And that's what I said. And I even said it. I said, I didn't do it to you. Whoever hurt you, whoever messed you around, talk to them. I didn't do anything. But you get what I'm saying?
We don't know.
So why are you trying to treat me or put me in the box because, hey, you are doing this? I don't have time. Somebody else talking and saying something, bring something to the table. And you supposed to, if you don't think highly of yourself, who will? Amen. Amen. We have a lot of things that are against us as being, people of color, and then especially the black woman. We're talked about in the on the radio, we talked about on the media, we're portrayed a certain way. We all these and that, A through Z.
Well, I heard this statement that a lot of the women have high standards and they might need to bring their standards down.
No.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with it either.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think it's a dude out there for you.
For sure.
Standard. Trust me.
For sure.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think you should bring your standards down, because that's not gonna make you happy. That's only gonna.
But they shouldn't be unrealistic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But you should have standards.
I mean, the guy on the bus, if he on the bus, and would you give him a try? If he ride the bus, is this one of your standards that this dude gotta have a car? These are. I'm not gonna make you answer that, but I'm gonna just say this. I'm just saying this.
A lot of women go off potential. You get what I'm saying?
But everybody got potential.
Everybody do.
Even the dude that's sleeping in the back of the alley.
So would I be wrong to dump him in 2 years if he ain't got no car?
That's what I'm just saying this. I'm just putting it out there. Because you see, everybody is a potential. Or God incarnate, or in this universe, even a dude that sleeps behind the dumpster has potential.
For sure.
But are you willing to take this cat home and say, I'm going to clean you up? See, a lot of women do that, and I think that's wrong. A lot of women will do that because they're taking, and let's just say, I ain't going to say they would take a dude to sleep behind a dumpster, but to take somebody at that level, I think that takes too much energy out of you to fix it.
And then
he has to start fixing that first. And then I see this too. I see a lot of guys, I don't mean to cut you off. I see a lot of guys, they get with them, but they not ready for it yet. You know, they try to come in there and then run the house, but they never ran their own house. They never even lived on their own yet.
Don't you start now.
They just coming straight out of parent house, then they going to that.
I'm glad you said that.
I'm just saying.
There's a lot.
That ain't cool.
There's oh my gosh.
I think he ain't ready yet. I think he really need to be out on his own first and let's see you maintain that.
Oh, this one wacko, I gotta cut you off. This one wacko. Oh my gosh.
I didn't touch the nerve.
This wacko, he was just like, oh my gosh, I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the man. I ain't gonna say everything about it, but I looked at.
He was the man.
I looked at him and I was like, how, when you're saying you're the man and you're the leader of the house, or you want to be the leader of the house, and you refer to a Bible verse saying the man is the head of the household and all this stuff, right?
He been verses.
So
I'm gonna talk
I
about
said,
that.
how are you? Why would I follow you and you don't know where you're going?
Ooh, wow.
I'm saying, why would I follow? If you the leader, why would I follow you? You don't know where you're going. So basically, we two separate people. I know where I'm going.
Right.
So if I know where I'm going on my path. If you ain't got no path, I'm gonna stay on my path. But we already know women are supposed to help, and we are helpers. So if he had a path,
I say y'all nature is the nurture.
For sure. If he had a path, I wouldn't like deviate from whatever, but guess what? I will merge my path with his.
That's deep.
I will make sure of that. So if he's dealing with any recovery, anything with health or being a coach or whatever it is, guess what? My path is going to come this way and we're going to go together. I'm going to make it.
Okay, I think that's a lot of energy. Everything breaks down to energy. How much energy can you put into this thing?
Yes.
Now, somebody dealing with recovery, that dude need to go off and fight that and then come back.
Oh my gosh, wacko.
Right, he need to go off and fight that.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Then maybe come back if he get himself straight. Having somebody there, I think it's good to have support because, you know, we all got family. You got a lot of family and support. You couldn't have been here without that support. But they didn't carry you. That's a difference.
For sure.
Somebody supporting you and somebody carrying you is two different things.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
So I'm just saying that I don't think you should change your standards on a lot of things. I think you should actually maintain it. And then you gonna find that guy doing things that you like doing and getting involved with the community and stuff like that, or different things. Or let's say you like bowling or golfing. As you elevate, you'll find somebody to elevate that's there.
What is that called? Something attraction? What is it?
Oh, the law of attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for real. If you hold off and just wait, you know, and you putting in work and doing different things, you have some people that start, you know, liking you. I can say if you start entertaining the goofies, you know what I'm saying, some more goofies are gonna come.
I ain't gonna call
you entertain some goofies, some more goofies are gonna come. But if you entertain the right ones, you will start getting a variety of ones that you can actually, you know, deal with. You get what I'm saying?
Goofy is a hard term. I think lost is another term.
Lost boys, like Peter Pan. All right.
Yeah, because Peter Pan, remember that story now, they never want to grow up.
No.
Never
he
land.
never want to grow up.
They want to fight the captain.
Yeah.
They want to play that game with kids play on the ship. That, you know, they just lost. They just lost right
little
now.
boys.
You know, but they want you to stay alone there.
Oh my gosh! In that box. Yeah.
Yeah, in that box.
In that box.
Now
they want to keep putting you back in that box with the control of whatever control they got, because I ain't even gonna go there. But
nah, we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah.
I had a friend though. She cracked me up. She told me, I know when I'm dating one of them. I say, how? She talking about because the sex be off the chain. He talking about he worked extra hard for that. He like the dude who got something going on. He don't put all that work in. I was cracking up. I say, shut up, fool.
I mean, I'm sorry. That's all you got to offer is just that.
He be going to work. He talking.
I mean, come on. That's supposed to be the icing on the cake.
What if comedians said that too? That I was cracking. Was that Simone? I was cracking up.
No.
Tell me. Oh, let me tell you this. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
WRFU is an open forum of Banner Champaign community. Views expressed are those of the speakers and not intended to represent WRFU, UC, IMC, or Banner Socialist Forum. So these are our views. You are listening to 104.5 WRFU, Conscious Community Connection.
Yes.
Heather breaking some stuff down here, man.
Yes.
You know, we talking about recovery.
Laughing.
So
Yes.
Heather ended up this last part on recovering from a bad relationship.
Yes.
So okay, now that you out of that, let's talk recovery.
Okay.
So now that you out of that bad, and when you was in it, did you feel like you was in a dark cloud all the time?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that gaslighter that I had. I stayed in one. It was for 3 years. The gaslighter I had was, whew, he was something else. But I had to like start being aware, you know, of what was going on and what I was accepting. You know, I had standards, wanted to set them, I didn't.
But you was trying to help him move. You was trying to help him move forward.
Yep.
You was being with a good, and you got a lot of good women out here.
Yep.
Like I hear guys, ain't no good. No, you got some good women.
No, there's some good women out here.
They're sticking your corner.
And then there was some that I heard, and it was like, well, if you a female and you single and you something must be wrong with you, or you know, it's just crazy things that, you know, people will say about why I am single and why most of the women that I know of are single, because I have a lot of associates and women that I know, they are single and holding on to it for a reason, because
it's too much, huh?
Man,
too much to deal with.
It's, oh my gosh, it's rough out here.
I think, man, we gotta go into a whole recovery stage for our community.
Yes, we do.
We do a whole recovery stage.
That's why I got the self-love series. Please, you can come November the 2nd, 11 to 12:30 at Douglas Branch Library. It's just we need to start loving ourselves first.
But what does that mean? A lot of people say they love themselves. Yeah. And they'll give themselves anything, but are they being what they call an enabler of themselves? Are they self-enabling? Mean I love myself, so I'm gonna give myself this brand new, this $100 what's them dumb pants, them ball malls they talking about, them $900 pants. I say, man, that ain't loving yourself, man. That's throwing money down the trash to me, man.
That ain't smart.
If I ever wear some $1,000 pants, I'm gonna rob myself.
No, if I ever
come out naked too,
somebody better gift them to me. You feel me?
No, you gift them to me, I'm selling them back. I'm going to get that 1,000 and go and invest me some stock or something, man. I'm telling you.
If you gift them to me, most likely you done wrote them off, so they was free.
I'm going to give me some Amazon stock and some other stuff. You give me some $1,000 pants, man. But it's that enabling or self-love? That's the question. So, because you can be an enabler to yourself too. You can be an enabler and keep, you know, pushing on. I always say this: guy's not gonna really change until that pressure's there. Long as he's comfortable and he's getting everything he wants. Just like I had one young lady when I was working at Parkland. She said, "Tiger, I want you to talk to my guy." I said, "Yeah, why?" She's talking about, cause, you know, he out there wild and stuff. He doing all, you know, all he do is sell drugs, get high, and do all that. So I said, okay, I'll talk to him. I say, so what you do? She said, I just brought him some new clothes. And all this.
Enabler.
Yeah, she said, I just brought him some new clothes, and then I gave him my car, so he riding around with the car. I said, yeah, I'll talk to him, all right, but I'm gonna be taking notes. She told me, why you say that? I said, listen, if he able to get you to bounce stuff, still get the good love and to get everything, and he's able to still have fun like a kid, and then I'm in the wrong thing and I need to take notes from this player.
Oh, hush.
Wrong.
I mean,
am I wrong? Why would he change? No. He's comfortable. He's getting
for sure, and that's what a lot of men are. They're comfortable right now. We got people right now that's this cuffing season.
Man,
all right. So right now they on their little, it's cuffing season. Man. So they doing their little thing.
She new clothes.
She comfortable.
He got her car.
He comfortable.
Shoot, man.
They doing their thing
I'm doing something wrong.
By November, December, you know what I'm saying? Things are looking good. You know, y'all established y'all routine, whatever it may be, but y'all comfortable with whatever y'all tried to set up, you know.
Yeah. But when she talked to me and said that, I just told her, I said, man, I'm not gonna talk to him. I said, I'll talk to you. I'm not gonna waste my time talking to him because he got it good. He got the good life.
Why,
he got
why
a car.
Would he switch it up?
He getting food. She getting all that. Yeah. Why would he want to change?
No, he ain't.
Until he feel that pain. Do much. Right. Until that pain hit.
Yeah.
And make him get out there and really feel what it means to be a man. Then he'll wake up. You know.
I think that's why somebody tried to put me back in the box because I wasn't trying to go.
How big is that box? It's like this big.
Shut up. I know I'm small, but dang, my head big.
How big is that box they tried to put you in? Is it this big?
I didn't get in there.
Yeah,
not in that box.
He was trying to stuff you in that box. You probably just doing like that.
Yeah, he sure was. He can't say it to my face. No, it's just different things. People are comfortable; they're not gonna change. Yeah. You know, and that's a part of recovery. Period. If you are comfortable with drinking your drink or smoking your cigarettes, whatever it is, you're not gonna change. You're gonna stay.
Till that pain hit.
Till that pain hit.
Pain is a motivator.
Pain. Whew.
Yeah, pain is a motivator. Pain to make you move mountains, man.
Pain is a motivator. Pain, because we're pleasure people.
Well, it's three motivators. It's three types of motivator. I heard Les Brown say this. See what he said. I'm not quoting him, but I'm trying to get it right. Mm-hmm. You either moving toward pleasure, trying to move away from pain. Okay. And I can't remember the last one, but it was the third one. Maybe somebody out there can help me with that. But those are the main three motivators for anybody. Or you either trying to, I can't remember, but it's either trying to move away from pain, move to pleasure, or I can't remember the last one, but those are the motivators. Yep. So you're gonna have to allow that pain for him to develop into that man. And I'll tell you this, he gotta do it. I see a lot of women saying they trying to help, but it's not gonna really help him. Because it's an ego thing. We got egos. So he got to do it just to say, okay, I did it. Now I'm ready for that right lady to come in.
And some of these people will keep perceiving and saying like, hey, I want to get married. I want to, you know, they be saying it. They be talking it. They ain't ready for no relationship.
Somebody put something up there deep.
Jennifer, they not ready for a relationship.
Yeah, they not.
Facts. Why fix it if it's not broken? For instance, I have a mineral deficiency. I didn't know because I had always felt that way. When I finally got to the levels I was supposed to be at, I felt amazing. If you don't know any better, why would you want better?
Exactly. I like that. That's
true. I mean,
so she wasn't aware of it yet until she got all the levels right. Then
you felt very good.
But she was able to make, once she got into the right state, then she was able to make righter decisions.
And then, like we said, with the brain, mentally, and we know from scientific, you know, just
reading these studies,
the studies and doing the research, we know that the brain develops fully, completely in your 30s, in your 25s, in between 25 and 30s. You know, we know that for a fact. So we're trying to be lovey-dovey and go off emotion and say, oh, I love you and all of this other stuff. People, it's individually, but people are still holding on to pain, trauma, all these different things. And, I'm ready for a relationship. And then by the time you 30, you like, man, I'm still hurting from this past girlfriend, or I'm still hurting from my mama, you know, having me do extra stuff, whatever it may be. It's just the development and the maturity.
So wait,
of the person.
I got a question. So are they seeking that relationship trying to cover up the pain?
It's individual.
Oh, man.
But most likely,
going from bad to worse.
Most likely, yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, I mean, I keep it real. I keep a guy. I keep a dude. I do. Why?
Yeah, why?
Why? Because
Why?
I didn't want to be alone.
Okay.
And or I wanted to feel like, hey, I need a relationship. I need one. Maybe to feel whole and complete. Then it's like, oh man, I lost my mom when I was young.
Right.
I always wanted to replace that.
Okay.
You know, my dad and me didn't have the bestest relationship. You know, after she passed away, I wanted to feel that.
So
you get what I'm saying?
Replace that deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, like what Jennifer said again, I think it's very important to really know when you're feeling your best and know when you're feeling your worst. I was reading it was a study with that. It's a Ayurvedic study, but it was talking about being in the right at your best, then know how that feel, and at your worst, remember how that, because your brain usually don't hold that. But at your worst, let's say you had a cold, you had the flu, and you just feeling at your worst. You need to mark that and really look at yourself then, how your thought pattern is, and then understand in between the two, from your worst to your best. Now, when I'm exercising, just like she said, get the right chemicals going on, you know, taking in the right nutrients, eating the right food, eating healthy, and then my decision making is very clear.
Yes.
But when I'm not working out, or
when you drinking and smoking,
drinking out, everything is off.
Everybody,
my decision making be off.
Yeah.
So also, it leads to bad decisions sometimes. But and there was something else somebody else put up there, man. But I get it. I get what she's saying.
Most people have relationship draft picks. The problem is subconsciously they know it's there, so they never really give 100% to the relationship they are in, because there is always a second and third string option. I do that. Sorry. I do. I keep a dude, but I mean, hey, it's all good. Yeah. I ain't giving up nothing right now. So
that dude in the box.
They just
talking about break when the emergency box. Talking about break when emergency now.
No, that mug, he just wasn't at the draft pick. You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't even on the draft.
He didn't get drafted anymore. You know, it was nah. Free agent. He a free agent now. You know what I'm saying? Around, bro.
Dang. Well, this been very interesting, man. I like this recovery stage.
For sure.
I'm glad you picked this topic, because there's a lot of healing need to go on out here.
Yes, please.
We got a lot of work to do on ourselves first.
Yes.
You know, they talking about...
And it's not selfish to love yourself.
Yeah, because they got that in the thing now, where they're talking about, you know, us getting paid back for slavery and all that things. But we could start it first with ourselves right now. Then, I tell you what, once we start moving in that direction and really start putting ourselves and not for ourselves and not trying to not with upward suasion, like trying to please them, other folks, but pleasing yourself in the right way and really making some powerful moves for yourself.
Yes.
It's not about them accepting us. This is about us making better moves for who we are.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah, because I ain't worried about what they think.
No.
I don't care no more.
No.
But that's why I don't even use my, like they say, you don't use your Christian name. No, I don't. Nope. I don't use that like that. You know, I'm my own thought pattern now. I don't need that, man. I got my own ideology. I'm not accepting none of this stuff though.
Okay.
You know, I'm like a militant now, man. Yes. You might as well throw that black fist on my chest, because it's on there. But that's what it is. But it's been a good conversation, man.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much.
We finna tune out, y'all. We'll see y'all again next Saturday.
Shoot, next Saturday is my event, so I won't be here.
Oh, okay. Kiki will be here?
Yeah, Kiki and Damon, they better come in. You better be back.
I'll be in with them. I'll help them.
Come back.
We're going to be in, and we got some other folks we talking to about bringing them in too.
For sure.
Because we want to bring in more concepts, ideas. The whole thing is bring conscious community and bring more of the voice or the younger voice in, so that now, you know, we can really cover these issues from our standpoint. Because those closest to the problems usually got the answer.
For sure.
We don't need nobody over here telling us,
thank you,
this is good for you, that. I don't need you dictating to me. I already know what I got to do. So.
Yes, that's why we on the radio.
We out.
All right.
That's
WRFU 104.5 Conscious Community Connections, where we keep the community connected.
That's right. That's Heather J. I'm tired of motivate. I'm out, y'all. I'm out. I'm going to eat some more gumbo. My pops cooked some gumbo. My buddy over there now eating about 3. I'm probably on his 5th plate right now, but that's it. All right, y'all. We out. All right, Heather. Do your thing, mama.
Thank you. Love you.
What they say? Somebody else said something above that.
Nuh-uh. Oh, let that hurt go and forgive and move for the better.
That's right.
Yep.
I like that too.
Thank you. See y'all later.